this. I've talked to Lenny Sanders about this. I've talked to various administrative people about this West Side Fire Station. And I think, again, that moving forward, there's a lot of discussions that need to be held. We do not have an agreement with the Ag Park. I'm going to call it that just out of time concerns. But there's been no agreement with that, but we do respond to emergencies out there, and we do that as a courtesy at this point. And personally, I think that that should be reimbursed, funded, or somehow or other fees collected, maybe in advance, so that that service can be provided without being a burden on the taxpayers of the community. So I think there's a lot of efforts and a lot of work that's being done kind of behind the scenes, but you know, feet have been drugged, if you want to talk about
feet have been drugged.
Yeah, it's you know, something that we've talked about for a number of years is getting that agreement, and it's been kind of tied in with the ambulance service thing too. I realize it takes a lot of time and effort to get these agreements worked out, but again, as these discussions have been at the forefront over the last few months. So.
What is your opinion as a councilman as far as the fire department answering ambulance calls or Trinity Regional? I'm just bothered, and you're a private businessman.
Yes.
I'm just bothered that Unity Point, which is a private business, it's a nonprofit. I mean, that's a tax status essentially.
Right.
I'm bothered that we would have a government agency, even one is respected and should be respected as the fire department, a government group funded by taxpayers essentially, in competition with a private business. That just bothers me on some level. It would be like all of a sudden we had a taxpayer-funded optometrist down the street from where you are. I wouldn't be in favor of that.
No.
You know, and I know we're talking a whole different world. We have emergency care. We have to have people very well trained, but I'm just bothered by that. What is your take on that?
I think, and again, Jeff Hill, who was just recently raised up to captain at the fire department, was instrumental in these developments that we worked out with Trinity a few years ago. It wasn't a one-sided MOU. It was a collaborative effort on behalf of the fire department and the city staff and elected officials. And I think as we progress with this, I think there should be some kind of a agreement between the two organizations. And part of the problem we run into is staffing at the hospital. You know, after hours, they're having a little bit of a problem maintaining and retaining people out there. I think that you know, the collaborative effort between the
the hospital for EMTs,
for EMT,
paramedics.
Yeah. And of course, the fire department has moved into a lot of EMT paramedic training, and that's part of the, you know, kind of our desired endpoint is to have the staff trained, because when they respond to traffic accidents and whatever, immediate medical care is sometimes necessary. And sometimes the fire department will get there earlier than what the ambulance does just because of the centralized location. So I think, you know, in the end point, I think we're going to be working towards having both systems operational. I think part of the problem I have with it is that the telecommunication aspect, which is a chunk of money, about $300,000 a year. The hospital at the present time does not, they access that system for their response,
Sure,
but they don't pay for it.
That's a problem.
Yeah, that's a little bit of a problem, so I think we need to work that out. But again, I think as we go forward with this, you're going to see, you know, maybe an agreement to either incorporate hospital staff into a fire department in a paramedic role, not as a firefighter role, if that's at all possible. I think the transportation issue is something we can discuss, and reimbursements we can discuss later, but I think eventually we're going to end up with a system that is going to be more streamlined than what it is right now.